Welcome to the Hard Truth Show. And guys, on this video, I don't know what direction this is going to go, but I just want to say, before I get in anything on this content today, and shout out to everybody that came over on the live the other day. I really enjoyed that live, but I know we're on a pre-record show tonight, but I just want to tell y'all, before we get into anything at all, if you told people for years that the New World Order was coming, and they said you're one of these tinfoil hat prepper survivalist nut job wackos, today you are vindicated, my friends. Never again will you have to worry about people being able to say that and it hold weight. Now, they may say that, but it will have no substance or value after today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you the UNNWO. Okay, now if you pull up the link in the video description below, I have a link to their website, and then I broke down some of their tabs, and then I have an article published that I'm going to get into first before I go full on into their website, because I want to set the tone, and then I want to actually break this down. And I'm shocked, but at the same time, I'm not shocked. Now, I asked, and I believe I said this in one, at least maybe two lives, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong on this, because the other day about the shooting thing, somebody come up on, some troll hater, it seemed like, come up on there and wanted to say I'd said things I didn't and put words in my mouth and all this stuff. So I want to be very careful and make sure that I'm quoting stuff right on here. But there was a video live stream or something I done. I'm pretty sure, like I said, one or two of these that I've talked about the New World Order. And I talked about that, you know, this agenda has been being put in place for a long time, and that COVID, I've done it again, Rona, between Rona and 9/11 and the third thing to come, which I believe will be something with Project Bluebeam and demonic alien invasion, you name it, something crazy clean off the wall to make the whole world need to come together, just like this Rona thing, is that here's the deal. If you read this article I'm about to read to you, it kind of sets a precedent in the mind of where they're already at with this. Because, you know, ever since Daddy Bush, Bush Sr. said these things about a new world order, I mean, it has been full on, tried to be pushed into the world's face as much as possible. Now, I want to go and say this right here too, is that to see the United Nations logo and to literally see New World Order underneath that is literally mind just blown. I mean, guys, they are literally putting this stuff right in our face nowadays, like right in our face. They don't care about this anymore. They're unapologetic about this, and like I said in them other videos about the NWO, and I think I said something in another video about Rona, is that, you know, like, while all this is going on right now in the world, what is the agenda being pushed in the back? What's being set up in the background? And I guess here you go. Here it is. United Nations NWO launches COVID-19, you can read the rest of the article there, Coronavirus, focused International Day of Happiness 2020 campaign theme, Happiness for All Together. Now, I want to pick apart a few things in this article real quick, and then I want us to look at this website together. I'm going to say my piece on it, and it's going to be the video for tonight. It says here, responding to the unprecedented sudden threat of Rona 19 to the health, happiness, well-being of all humanity, as well as the worldwide quarantine. And they keep going. Unprecedented. I said we are living in unprecedented times. They are creating unprecedented times. You got to understand this, all right? Now, moving on in this article, there is, as you scroll on down, there is the hashtag 10 steps to global happiness challenge. And I find this interesting. It's like, what is this? Your New World Order's version of 10 Commandments. I mean, y'all got the Georgia Godstones, right? But apparently it says here further down that global citizens, we are in this together. It's a group effort, guys. I mean, you don't put your mask on, do what the World Health Organization says, you might be a goner. Moving on. Down here it says that they've come up with this concept, happy-talism. Happy-talism. Okay. Let me tell you, you don't have to reach too far to find out at the end of the day what they're really getting at with this, okay? If y'all haven't read this book, I encourage you to read it. You really need to read it. Did I say that you needed to read it? Because aside from the scripture, you really need to read this book like now. This is no longer like in the fiction section. It needs to be in the nonfiction section. Okay, so just one more time for those that haven't listened to me, you really need to read this book. So anyways, happy-talism, because let's not need to unleash the thought police on people that's not happy about the situation going on. And the World Happiness Fest, a 7-day virtual event uniting 80 countries and thousands of experts and blah, 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 all these people together. What are we doing now? We're creating our own festivals, and we're creating our, I mean, before long, they're gonna have one world religion, all this crazy stuff going on, guys. And I know a lot of you is probably sitting over there mocking me on a lot of this, but I'm telling you what, just the fact that you see the United Nations and New World Order together in one clump, wow. I'm just so grateful I live to this day. You know, if I go to sleep tonight and I don't wake up tomorrow, I cannot tell you the peace of mind and the vindication I feel in my heart knowing that I told people these days and this hour was coming, and it now is. It says here the 10 steps, or as I like to call it, the New World Order's 10 commands here, because I feel it's just a bunch of blasphemy. Let's stick together, because group mentality's always worked out wonderful. Follow the WHO guidance and recommendations, or otherwise, please follow Bill Gates funded programs. Number 3, virtually attend a World Happiness event, because please participate in the man-made holidays when we can't even seem to come together to keep the Most High Yah's set-apart holidays, let alone on His appointed times on His calendar. Number 4, do what makes you happy and stay social. Or as Aleister Crowley, the leader of the Satanic Church, is what I would compare this to, says, I think their motto was, do as thou will. So, that's their number 4. Number 5, number 5 might be okay. Be kind, share, and say thank you to the doctors, nurses, drivers, factory workers, teachers, and unsung heroes risking their lives on the front lines of the fight against Rona 19 to defeat the virus and keep the shelves stocked and society moving forward. Now, of course, unless share is an undertone for socialism and communism. Number 6, stay active and mindful, but yet we're under quarantine, so I don't really know how that's supposed to happen for a lot of people. Stay optimistic, positive, and resilient. Like getting a knee to the neck yesterday in Minneapolis and getting murdered by police officers. Shoot. Why shouldn't we stay optimistic? Stay informed about facts, news, and avoid myths like truthers out there like myself. Who wants to hear somebody tell you that for years they told you the New World Order's coming and now their website's public? And nobody wants to hear about those myths. Number 9, enjoy nature and the environment. But once again, wait, aren't national parks and state parks and stuff closed because we're under Rona? So, how are we really supposed to do that? Because, if we go kayaking off a beach, the police is going to come and give us a ticket for not social distancing. But yet they broke social distancing to give him a ticket. So I'm still confused. Number 10, think about systemic change we can make so this never, ever happens again. Such as happy-talism, right? That's what they want you to think about. That is the biggest load of BS I've read in a long time. Now, I want you at this point to pull up the website for the United Nations, because I honestly thought this was satire at first, guys. I literally said this cannot be true. I said this can't be true. And then, I went over and found out right here, to make sure that this is real, true stuff. And I was like, okay, apparently so. It's the real deal. So first off, if I'm pushing a belief, now I don't have my Et Sefer up here behind me at the moment, but of course I've got plenty of Bibles, KJV, etc. But I would pull the Et Sefer off and I'd be like, this is the Et Sefer. Inside of this is contained the Holy Scriptures, the set-apart word of the Most High Yah. And I would just go bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, why that you should believe the way that I believe, right? That would be my pitch to you, encourage you to read the Word and search out the truth for yourself, right? Does that sound like clear, sound logic? Well, if I'm going to push an agenda and I'm going to encourage people to join in on this day of happytalism or whatever, um, I would go and see, well, what is this happytalism is all about? But when I go over to the website and I pull down here, it says here, sign up to review the white paper. So I have to sign up and give them my information. And then it says it's currently under peer review by some of the world's top economic and academic minds. Join us. Let us get it right. Be among the first to review the official happytalism white paper. What a load of crap. Like, you're telling me to celebrate something that I have no clue what the thesis of that celebration is. Like, I mean, here's some bullet points for something, but like, what does that really come down to? And you might be like, look, you're being petty. You know, we ought to celebrate a day to be happy with all the bad things that's happened. But I'm like, really? Because I should be happy that with all that's going on, that Rona 19 garbage, that I see people of their family members that have passed on come online and give their testimony that their family members didn't really die of Rona 19. They died of something else. These are living, real people saying that their family members passed away, but please don't think it was because of Rona 19. And that it has like over 99% survival rate from what I can see right now. And yet I should support this agenda, which is being created off the back of that, when, like I said, I see a gentleman the other day with not one cop, but 3 cops holding him down, and murdering him in the street. I'm supposed to be happy right now because the last time I checked, I don't think a lot of people are happy. Shout out to the folks that rioted the other day. I just wish y'all would have rioted down at the police department if you were going to set something on fire. Like, I've done something more productive down that direction than to like burn down Target and AutoZone and all these places that are actually productive members of society that gave you employment and etc. I mean, like, you know, like I think it was the march with Martin Luther King in Selma. I seen this thing. I actually drove by there recently too. Is had this sign or this meme that it said, "This is a protest. This is looters," or "Oh, this is criminals." Yeah, this is a protest. This is criminals. So, you know, I'm not very happy about that situation. But I'm just saying, like, look, as everything that's going on in our country, and I said that to say this, you know, like all the people that's lost their jobs, that are eventually, a lot of people is going to commit suicide. They're going to lose their homes. They're going to lose their families. Divorce is going to happen. Just all sorts of stupid crap. Which, not to mention, when the divorce happens, then there's going to be all sorts of financial backlash for especially the man, at least 90% of the time. So yeah, we're supposed to stop what we're doing and get happy with all that's went on, because these same jokers created the situation. Gotcha. I'm following. All right. So anyway, moving on. If you look over there now, they have this international Day of Happiness thing. There's actually a happinessday.org thing that is completely separate to the United Nations thing. And you can go down through here and look at all these things. But if you look like mine, and I'm not going to post this online right now, but there is some chick that literally, this is one of the best ones that gets me, is I literally bet they went on Instagram and pulled some chick that her breasts are literally about to fall out of her swimwear, and they're obviously, I can tell this is additions to somebody's body. This is not normal, and it's literally like the centerfold of it. And then right next to it, there's like something about some picture that was supposed to be. This is like people that's supposed to have been celebrating this. There's a picture next to it, and it's literally got stuff where you can buy for Valentine's Day. That's like, they have literally just pulled up random junk off of Instagram and put on here, because the hashtag, there's like, it's literally saying the Happy New Year 2020. Like, there's nothing in this, is all garbage made up. Like, nobody's really out here enjoying this thing at all, I don't think. I mean, like, this is just stupid stuff. But you need to look through here. I'm serious, because like, guys, the thing that gets me the best is they speak of holistic in this too, that it's like we need a holistic future. Like, I'm sorry, what part of taking a vaccine is holistic? Like, you can't make stuff up. Listen, the fact that I am sitting here right now, okay, the fact that I am sitting here and I'm telling you things, like, I want y'all to understand, and I'm not saying this to gloat. Literally, I went back after I said this in a live the other day, and there is some live stuff that I have posted here lately that we've had open conversations, and you know, it is still yet to garnish a single dislike, but it is in the thousands of views and hundreds of likes. The fact that it would actually make me happy if just like one person come along and said, you know what, I disagree with you. Look, it might make me feel a little better at night, right? Go to sleep on it. Give me a little bit of peace of mind that, hey, you know what, I might possibly be wrong. But we're to the point where this stuff, you just can't make it up no more. There's no disagreeing with it because it's just fact. I mean, there is literally an image in front of me here where I can click on that says United Nations and New World Order underneath that. Like, who would have ever dreamed that up, especially you elders that have watching this content? Who would have ever dreamed that up when you were a child or even as much as a couple years ago, right? I mean, like, we are literally on the cusp of insanity. And not to mention that, but I was wanting to do the China thing about war with China, and literally they've got like 15,000, 5,000. It's or 10,000. It's anyway. It's in some thousands and thousands of troops that's on the border of India right now, and you got to keep in mind they're in Africa and all this stuff, guys. It's like people wonder how the kings of the East and the Euphrates thing all ties in the end days, and we're going to talk about this in a video about China. But if you look at their troop movement, you look at everything that's going on right now, you look at all the turmoil that's going on, you look at what's going on with the U.S. and them. I'm telling y'all what, like the next big conflict is going to be like Battlefield 4, all right? It's going to be like, I'm telling you, China is going to be at the dead center of it, all right? Now, I don't want to get into that right now because we've got a whole show coming up that I want to touch on that, and I definitely want to do that live with you guys instead of a pre-recorded show like today. But anyway, number 8 gets me the worst in this. I just want to say this on the happinessday.org thing, which is a subsidy off of the United Nations thing, is to stay informed about facts and news. That's a great thing. I tell people too, don't even trust what I have to say. Seek out the truth for yourself, right? But literally, step number 8 is very clear: to avoid myths. And that's straight up talk for don't listen to folks like me that's trying to tell you to look into things for yourself. Like the fact they literally had to go to that and say that twice within that point. All right, twice. Because right here it says the World Health Organization website has great information on how to prevent contagion, stop the disease, and avoid myths. Literally twice they have to reiterate that. All right. So I'm just going to leave that for what it is. Because keep in mind, people have warned and warned and warned this day would come. All right, now, two other things I want to cover here real quick, and then I'm going to make my last premise for this whole thing as a wake-up. If you go to the global goals, all right, which is so interesting to me because they got all this stuff. It's always a circle, and then it's always flat with the continents in it too on the United Nations thing, which I'll get into in another point in a second. But anyway, a long time ago, they put these 17 goals in place, all right? No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, all right? Clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace and justice, and strong institution, partnerships for the goals. That's their whole BS line for this. And this is the deal. This ain't gonna happen. This is literally Orwell 1984 kickoff, because the thing is in order to have most of this, what they're saying, they're going to ask on the backside of that for you to hand over your freedom. That's all you got to give, guys. That's all you have to give is your soul. That's it. It's a low-cost subsidy. You get subsidized, you get taken care of, you get to live in this beast system. All you have to do is give your soul. Get an immunization, and you're good to go. You know, just take this little mark of the beast, your little RFID chip, do as we say, worship as we say. I mean, at the end of the day, man, we're good. That's all you got to do. You know, I mean, I could freaking work in sales for these guys for New World Order. I really could work in sales for New World Order. They ought to call me up. Only thing is I ain't going to take the job. But I think I could literally Jordan Belford straight line method some of these people. I mean, because like, dude, this is so simple. All you've got to do is just say aloud. That's it. All you got to do is give over your freedom. These pedophile, blood drinking, adrenochrome, crackheads, that satanic worshiping, blood sacrificing, child sacrificing people. That's all you got to do is just give up your life and your freedom over these people. That's all you got to do. So, with the last thing I want to say on that, guys, I'm going to leave a few notes with you. If you go to the website for the UNNWO.org, the picture took me aback. when I first looked at it, because it says let's take our planet back, and it literally is above a disc that has the United States on it. Okay, that's obviously a flat Earth map, right? Azimuthal equidistant, and then it has bars. So I think this is in New York, the background, and then of course you have all the flags of the world there behind it, but you have these bar. So it's like they literally, if you look, and sometimes people might say, look, you look too deeply into things, you see too much, you're seeing more than should be seen. But like if you look at that, it's like saying the world is locked up, and they're saying let's take our planet back, but it's literally projection. What they want is you to surrender our freedom over to them so they can lock you up under the New World Order. I'm serious. Look at the picture. Think about it a minute, all right? This ain't like we're standing in the art gallery at the Louvre, or we're looking at a Van Gogh and trying to figure out this stuff, okay, guys? I mean, like, seriously. Right here says about the United Nations New World Order Project is a global high-level initiative founded in '08 to advance a new economic paradigm, a new political order, and more broadly, a new world order for humankind. This is right here on the page, which achieves the UN's global goals for sustainable development by 2030 and the happiness, well-being, and freedom of all life on Earth by 2050. Hashtag AI, hashtag Georgia Guidestones, hashtag genocide, hashtag Bill Gates has gone wild. Okay, that's what they're saying here. All right, initiatives, and I went over those. There's the things, and guys, I'm telling you, they've set clear goals of what they want to do to humanity. This ain't no laughing matter anymore. I mean, this is game on. Um, and I got news for you. You either gonna join the club, or they gonna dispose of you. Now, I have been really contemplating on a lot of things ever since that I started this show. A lady commented the other day on one of the lives, and it really resonated with me. It said that I kind of was like, I hope this show ain't a waste of people, and I'm wasting people's time when they watch this. I hope it's informative every time I come online. And they were like, it reinvigorated them to prepare again. And I was like, you know what? It really has reinvigorated me to get prepared again too. Not that I haven't been. I mean, for crying out loud, I've been working on my family's farm for years, and other projects, and then of course up here, there's no better preparedness than right here, and then of course getting a heart right with the Most High Yah. But I'm just like, man, it has been such a wake up to just. It's almost like the time that I decided to start doing this show, the world lost its mind. Like it really has lost its mind. Like, I mean, we've went from right before I started the show, I was in Sacramento, California, and it was right when the Rona 19 thing started, and they were shutting down European flights, anything international, all that stuff, and it really started resonated from that point forward as I was getting prepared to actually start this show, and then actually getting into running it. Is that now here we are? We actually have a website for the New World Order. I got to repeat that again. Like, we have a website for the New World Order. I mean, this could have been done any point in time. Any point in time. It's here now. And I want you to understand that if you think back to 9/11 and you fast forward to now, all the loss of freedoms, guys, like, there was literally, I am torn on the fence of how to feel toward my governor right now in Tennessee, is because, like, the House just passed a thing, from what I understand, that pretty much getting rid of the permits for Tennessee, where that you can carry concealed or carry open carry. But now I don't know how that's going to reciprocate between other states, but regardless, my point in case in the matter is that, like, the Bill Lee, from what I understand, he was like, well, this is just not a big important matter, and brushed it under the rug, whereas that's a huge matter. That's the and I hope I haven't read this wrong, but I'm like, whoever decided it wasn't a big matter, that's huge, because the Second Amendment is not a suggestion, and I don't need your permits and your fees to exercise my right to keep and bear arms and protect myself. And folks, when it gets down to it, if I need to break laws to protect myself, I'll do that too. The old Luke that was asleep in church and asleep in Babylon in 2009. He came online and has been online for a long time. And in about the time that I went through my divorce, the old Luke died. I mean, I went through like the rise of the Phoenix mode. And the guy that you see sitting for you is not the same man that started this channel years ago. And I don't mean like I've lost my way or anything like that. I mean, I have gotten very woke since 2009, and we are a decade past that and change now. And the more and more that is coming, I am seeing people that have never taken me serious over the years really get as serious as a heart attack now. And I can't wait to share this one with folks that the New World Order has a website now. Like, this is great. I'm telling you, like, as soon as this publishes and this goes on Facebook, I have literally vindicated what I have said on this program, on this YouTube channel, even before the Hard Truth Show, but on Seven Terms Forever. It has been vindicated. And I want to give a shout out to Brother Josh over at Flat Earth Brothers. If you have not checked it out, you definitely need to go check this brother out, because shout out to him, because I actually seen this in my feed the other day that he had produced a video. And I was like, I got to go see this to be true. And then somebody else shared on Facebook about it. And then, of course, the other night after the live, guys, I got tied up with other stuff, and I didn't get to go check it out. But today, I got to check it out. And so, yeah, exciting times we're living in, ladies and gentlemen. Unprecedented times. Literally, somebody said the other night in the live, I'll say this, and then we'll wrap this video. I said, you know, when Messiah comes back and splits the dome open, and you know, the return of Messiah happens, I said, people, they'll be out there trying to literally Facebook, YouTube that thing live. And somebody said, yeah, it will definitely happen. And I was just thinking to myself, you know, this is you just can't make it up. You just cannot make this up for the life of you. And I know I have probably said multiple things over and over again throughout the course of this video, guys, but I mean, I literally never thought I'd live to see the day that this stuff happens. And it's not shocking me anymore. It's just, it's almost like, you know, you anticipate, you know, when I was a kid, I'd like anticipate getting a G.I. Joe or something like that, you know, and it's like, oh, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. You had to mail off for it, or like a pack of Legos. And then finally you walk to the mailbox one day after you said, this is never going to happen. They lost it in the mail. And you open the lid, and there's that box of Legos, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. And I'm like, that's how I feel with this. It's like I, you know, tabled this. I'm like, they're never going to just out and say it. You know, what was it? The Gray State movie, when they killed that filmmaker. Can't think of his name right now. I talked about that recently in a live. But, you know, I'm like, they'll never just out and be like, hey, this is what it is. And now they just did. So, guys, as always, until we see you again here at the Hard Truth Show, keep seeking out the truth, keep taking your red pills. And as always, until we see you again at Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope the Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends. In